Hey everybody, David Crisello from Jetpack Workflow. Today I'm so excited to go over how to set up your website to bring in leads. Now this is a primer on how to build ROI driven websites. So these are not pretty wallflowers that just sit around, collect dust, and don't bring in customers. These are legitimate business avenues to bring in new clients, to retain clients, to attract new people in terms of traffic, in terms of prospects, leads, nurturing, so on and so forth, and I'm so excited to dive in. So this is what I call welcome to Main Street. So over the last couple of years, I've been working behind the scenes creating effective websites that bring business owners leads on almost autopilot. Now, this isn't really, some voodoo magic, and it isn't really a trick, and we're not going to go over how to make everything the latest, greatest, prettiest kind of design. Now, the design is sleek. We want things to look nice so people can digest the content, but it's not all about creating the latest, greatest design pattern. First thing I want to go over is, what is your headline? What are you shouting, as I like to say? What is your website headline? Now, much like a newspaper, today's viewers navigate the web like they would a newspaper. They skim rapidly looking at headlines. Now, if you think back to a newspaper or magazine you read recently, chances are you didn't read it word for word, start to finish. Instead, we look at the headlines and determine if they, fit our desires or wants or pain points that we're experiencing, and your webpage works the same way. So someone looks to judge at, it within seconds. And they want to know, is it relevant to me? Does it mention the problem I have, or does it spark my curiosity? Now, all these internal questions are focused on one subject, me. And so often we go to websites and we see things that say, welcome here, or hello, we're company ABC, the greatest company on the planet. It's all very company focused. It's not really focused on what are the true benefits that you're speaking to. So the first thing I want to look at is what are the headlines? What are some of the biggest questions? What are some of the biggest benefits? What are some of the biggest needs, wants, and desires your market has? And how can you actually hook them in to actually digest, to read more of the content on your website? Now, again, like I mentioned, the standard just welcome hurts your ability to convert visitors into leads. So instead, think about formulas such as, we help target market do or have X in order to obtain Y. Now, you cannot forget to obtain Y. It's all about the end desired outcome. Another one is, we provide end benefit in X time guaranteed. And so a really famous example of this headline is, fresh hot pizza delivered in 30 minutes or it's free. Now, this could be, something around, tax returns completed in under X amount of time, or it's free, or whatever. Or if you don't, get a tax return of at least X in under 90 days, then it's, free, or whatever it may be. And you have to think about, what are the real benefits they want? What's a time frame that you can guarantee? And if you don't back that up, how can you, potentially reduce the anxiety, the fear, the worry people have when making a decision? That's why you put a guarantee in the headline and the content of your website. Real estate agents commonly use the phrase, your house sold in X days, or it's free. So, here's a couple questions to think about when setting up your headline. 1, who is my target audience? Who are you working with? Who is qualified to buy my services? Who is or could be a very profitable client? So one thing you can do is look at your current client base, then view out and say, how can I replicate and find more people like this client? Now, one way, of course, is to ask them, hey, do you know of anybody like yourself in your situation, in your industry, in your whatever, that might need a free consultation, that might need, that might want to take a look at, some of the free reports we've done, or an article we've written, or whatever it may be. Go ahead and ask them. But if you don't have that, start outlining who the best, most profitable or most enjoyable to work with client would be. Now, what are their greatest fears, worries, frustrations, objections around your services? You want to start listing out 5 or 10 common questions, objections, concerns that your target market has, that clients you typically work with have before they come on board. And then, what benefit does your headline provide? Is it focused on you? Is it focused on the client? Now, your headline is something that can be constantly refined. Hopefully these questions and formulas get the juices flowing. Next, let's look at this. Do the skim readers care? Now, we mentioned, whether it's a newspaper or magazine, people skim read. They skim read, and same thing is going on online. So people are going to skim read your website. Now, if they skim read, they're going to start looking for words and pictures that are highlighted or prioritized on your webpage. So if things are bolded, well then of course they're going to draw attention. If things are in different colors, they're going to draw their attention. If there's pictures that are highlighted, it's going to pull people's attention. So just be conscious of how people are going to skim read your website. Now, oftentimes when people skim read content, it's all about the company and very little about the client. Okay, and here's a common example of the difference between a company-focused versus a client-focused advertisement. So let's take the example of the window tinting company that you'll see here on the screen. Now, when you see their ads, they often read, "Our window tinting service blocks out 99.9% of UV rays, it's 3 millimeters thick, and is made up from blah, blah, blah materials, which are the highest grade, blah, 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 blah." These are all features of the product, but what does the customer really want from the experience? And in this case, it might be the following. Protect their small children while riding the back seat of the car on those long road trips. Keep the interior of their car in pristine condition longer. Maybe to increase or the resale value of their car. These are all the end desired outcomes that a client or a customer actually wants in the window tinting service. But so often we hear it's all about the company. It's all about the features. It's 3 millimeters thick. It blocks out 99% of UV rays. So a good way to look at your content, look at your marketing messages, both on your website or anywhere else, is to put together a grid like this. List out the feature. Blocks out 99.9% of UV rays. Then list the benefit. Protect small children in the back seat. Then you can put the initial pain or reason to act. So there's an increase in trend in children getting sick from prolonged rides in the back seat of cars, or getting sick from increased exposure to the sunlight. And there's a report on how car rides, is one factor in that upward trend. Now, start listing this out in a grid. Again, just take out, maybe 2 or 3 features that you really, think are strong points about your service, about your company, about your firm, about the way you do business. Write down the initial pain, write down the benefit, put this grid together, and this exercise alone is really going to give you a good idea of what's going on in the client's mind and how to position and price and sell the services you offer. Next thing, what is your call to action? So taking a step back, let's look at the reader's path so far. Maybe they've read a headline that is relevant to them and their pains and their needs, and they continue reading your content. They start researching your company to see if it's a good fit. Everything looks good, they feel comfortable with your website, and decide to return sometime later to make a final decision. Now, when they left without a clear, call to action, without clear direction, most website visitors will delay making a choice until the last possible minute. I know in certain decisions, I wait until the last possible minute. I'm certain you do too, and your customers and clients are no different. So perhaps this is just human nature across the board. But whatever the case is, you need to set up your website so that those that read the material, determine it's a good fit for them, are then prompted, not spammed, to get in contact with you or download more material. It should be very clear. It should be very obvious what the next action should be. Should they contact you? Should they set up a free consultation? Should they download the guide, 7 mistakes people make when hiring, accounting services? 5 ways to improve your tax return in under 30 minutes. So these are the types of guides that you could put together that somebody could download to learn more. The point is, make it very clear, make it very obvious what the next steps are. Say, click here to download the guide, or enter your name here, enter your email here, click this button to schedule a time to call. Make it very easy for them to take action. If you leave it ambiguous, or if you don't give them clear direction, they're just going to go on to the site that is their standard fallback when they want to be distracted. Now, whatever, it's a social media network, it's a news channel, whatever it may be, that's what you're competing with. So give them clear directions so they don't bounce off your website. Now, I love some of the call to actions, we see here on the screen. Now, this is from a blog post, but look, he has a call to action on the right-hand side. It says, the free course, double your traffic in 30 days plus a secret bonus. And he even puts a value around it. He has pictures of the items he's delivering, and it says, fill out the form below to start your free course. And it says, there's the email inbox right there, and there's a huge button that says, yes, let's start the free course. Okay, now, this is extremely easy to see what I should be doing. It makes it easy to opt in. It's just an email. The button is easy to read. It stands out. It's a different color than the background. It's a different color than anything else on this page, and it's very, very easy to read. I know exactly what he wants me to do next, and because of that, I'm more likely to engage with that offer. Next thing I want to ask is, how wide is your net? Now, I want to look at creating what I call free opt-in content. Now, here's the big secret. if you're running advertisement offline, online, doing networking, running anything else, chances are that the small minority, 1-2%, might be ready to do business right now. However, the large majority that come to your website are in research mode. We do the same thing with any kind of purchase, any kind of decision, cars, homes, insurances, vacations, computers, whatever. The point is we have this feeling that we need to get the facts and research before buying so we make a better decision. But how often do we look at websites, look at advertisements that only go after the right now buyers? They're literally leaving leads on the table because they don't offer them anything to help people through research mode. Yet this is where you build relationships. This is where you engage with prospects. All right, this is the place where you need to look at of what am I doing at this time to get there. So, look at buying a car. We don't see an ad just buy a car. We go into research mode. We ask friends, check the website. We learn more from the car salesman. Maybe take a test drive, then go back and maybe quote unquote sleep on it. Well, just imagine somebody that's in research mode downloading materials to help them make that buying decision. Here's a great example. Somebody that's selling software to property inspectors. Now, a property inspector, if they're on this site, they are looking for research and content around, well, how should I make this buying decision? And they provide a free guide that's the 7 things you need to know when choosing a property inspection application. All right, if I'm a property inspector, I'm looking at different software applications, the chances of me downloading this guide are pretty high because it helps me move through the research mode. So the question for you is, what are you doing with, for your prospects to help them make that decision, to engage with them, to get their contact information so that you can follow up, further educate them, answer their questions, answer their objections, and really build a relationship so when they are ready to make that decision, you are top of mind. So, here's the next thing I want to look at is how many choices do you provide? Okay, we talked about calls to action earlier, but most of the time, we go through a website and there's literally 7-10 different buttons that are all given the same priority. Now, you determine what your main call to action is. Maybe it's download a report, maybe it's, review our services, maybe it's to check out pricing, or it's to set up a consultation, whatever it is. Make sure it is the easiest, biggest button to read. The visitor should know within a couple seconds that if they want to continue reading, if they want to invest more into learning about your company or your services, that this is the button to go to. So you determine which page you want to drive people to. Is it free resources? Is it a free guide? Is it consultation? Is it pricing? You determine that, but make sure that it's quite obvious which button is your primary call to actions. Do not size and label all your buttons the same. Make one extremely easy to read. Again, we're looking at skim readers. We're looking at people that are always busy. I mean, your clients are always busy. Make it easy for them to take the next step. Here's another great call to action on the right-hand side. This is for somebody selling, lawn care services. Now, if I come here and you know what? If it's all about getting a free quote, well, guess where I'm going to go? Right to the right side on this screen, because it's super easy to read. Get a free lawn care quote. This is their primary call to action. You look at the buttons up top. They're not sized as big. They're not given the same amount of space as this get a free lawn care quote. Everything is driving to that part. Now, there's certainly tools like the hello bar and many contacts that are useful in collecting leads, but the point is make it easy, make it obvious what the next step should be. So, I know I blew through this overview, and if you want to download the guide, you can always email me directly, david@jetpackworkflow.com, david@jetpackworkflow.com. I'd be happy to send you a PDF of this guide. We're always looking for ways to help you improve, a new client acquisition. We're always putting up new content on how to retain, current clients, niche down, increase prices, add new services. We have our blog, jetpackworkflow.com/blog. We have interviews with Edward Mendlowitz, Michelle Long, Jody Padar, and so many more, all around, how to train new hires or how to build out your referral systems. So if you want the PDF, you can always email me, david@jetpackworkflow.com. If you want to learn more about our company, of course, it's jetpackworkflow.com. And if you want to invest more time into learning how to grow your firm, we have tons of articles, a lot of interviews at jetpackworkflow.com. bookkeepers.com/blog. Thank you so much for watching.